You guys ready for my hot take?
Well, let's hear
Sure,
it.
go on here. Go on
Dillon Brooks
here.
is getting too much hate. Dillon Brooks is getting way too much hate at the moment. The fact that one no signs that this series was anybody's fault other than Dillon Brooks is a shame. Is a shame. The fact that I have not heard one Grizzly spokesperson or executive say, "Oh no, part of the reason why we're doing bad is because John Morant was waving a gun drunk at the club on IG Live, and he missed a month of the season, so we didn't get team chemistry and we didn't get to build towards the playoffs." Or saying I'm fine in the West, or the injuries to Steven Adams or Brandon Clark, like Dibo mentioned. Like the only thing I've heard come out of the Grizzlies organization is that under no circumstances are we bringing back Dillon Brooks, which I'm fine with. I'm actually a fan of. I think his time has ran the course. But for his name to be the only name associated with negatives in this Grizzlies organization is absurd to me.
A little bit of rebuttal here, but I do think the Grizzlies they do Dylan under the bus. After it was over, series was over. Having that info come out saying, we're not going to resign him under zero circumstances. That was a very poor move by their PR team, their organization as a whole. But you can't do that. If you truly believe that for a specific player, keep that an internal thing, man. Don't let the media know, especially with a guy like Dylan Brooks, because over the past couple months, he has been one of the main storylines in the whole league right now with his antics and how he moves, man. So for you to put that information out, that's just gonna throw more stuff onto the fire. So I
No,
didn't
I
like
agree.
that. Yeah, I do agree with Matt on that. But I feel like Dylan, he brought this onto himself. Really, we can't
Yeah,
ignore that.
I mean, yeah, we already had that kind of talk, Matt and I did at least, about how Dylan Brooks is an idiot, and I think everything I'd say here would just be me echoing myself, saying what I said earlier. And I think he brought it on himself for sure. I mean, you can't just go around saying stuff acting like it won't go unpunished.
No, I
Yeah, yeah,
agree. I
man.
agree.
Yeah, saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, bro, LeBron's old. Oh man, I'll poke bears
I poke
with bro."
bears. Those
Hey,
goofy
quick
ass glasses on.
man, bro, quick tangent, bro. Dylan Brooks, bro. Please stop wearing vests and sweaters with no undershirt. That irks me. That irritates me. Please stop doing that. You look mad goofy. Let me be honest with you. But let me let me continue. Let me continue. But saying all the wild stuff to the media, and then during the series when Memphis lost, not even talking with the media after, ignoring everybody after what you said, the actions you've made. No, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
now,
just
Now,
basically,
chump energy.
did you see what Dame said? What Dame tweeted?
what did
Like
Dame tweet?
Dame was like, "You can't be him one day and then have an identity crisis the next day."
No,
Oh,
Like,
and he's completely
I,
right. Yeah, and so you can't just say random BS that you want to say and then just back out from it like a coward. You can't do that. Now the organization and players like Jaren Jackson, they gotta defend you for what you said because you're not there to defend yourself.
no,
yeah.
no, you're 100% right on the Dylan Brooks thing. One, like the bold statements, the pushing the cameraman, hitting Donovan Mitchell and LeBron in the groin, like it's all built up to this. Um,
Man, never hit a
but
man in a
and
family
it's
jewels
really
area,
easy for
man.
Dylan Brooks to talk when he has Big Brother John, Big Brother Jaren Jackson Jr. behind him and helping him out. But like I do agree with you, Debo. Like I just thought it was so weird for them to say like under zero circumstances because I feel like in all our time watching basketball, we've never seen that before. Because we'll
No,
typically see teams be like, oh, they've decided to part ways or they've decided they're not going to re-sign him. We've never heard like under zero circumstances in such a short time period.
No, and he never got in trouble too. So basically, what Memphis said that, yo, because you're both annoying and trash at what you do, trash at your job, we will not we're not gonna resign you. Get out, get out, get out. Take your jersey and get out. Take all your stuff and leave. That's what they basically said.
Well, I'll play a
Uh,
little bit of devil's advocate here. I think under a couple circumstances, what Memphis did was actually good for the organization. I mean, we saw in the last few months that Memphis became the most hated team in the league, and it's not even close. But I think that them doing that, I think that they saw it as a potential way to clear their name. Like, we don't want to associate with this guy that's putting a bad omen over us. But that's about it. That's all I
But
can
that's my
really say.
argument. That's my argument, though, is that like I said I agree with them parting ways with Dillon Brooks, but they did no disciplinary actions to Ja. They did nothing to Ja. Ja had the incident with the 13-year-old where it came out he punched him, yada yada yada, and nothing happened. And like a week later, Ja did the thing on IG Live. Nothing happened. No disciplinary. Ja got suspended by the league indefinitely, but the Grizzlies did nothing. They like helped him out. They put him in a program, which I thought was the right thing, but they never said, "Hey, we're gonna suspend him from the team." But like Dillon Brooks, he made some corny statements at the end of the day, and like they're treating it worse than what anybody else has done.
Oh, I think what he did to the cameraman's worse than anything that came out about
Well,
Ja.
they didn't even the Grizzlies didn't even care about that.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, that's ridiculous, dude. I mean, you're just that dude was trying to do his job. I mean,
Yeah.
he's there just doing his job. Whereas, I mean, he's not like genetically blessed like Dillon Brooks is to play in the league, but he's there, right? And you're gonna. I mean, he was hurt, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna do that and then not care for him after? Like, what does that show you about who Dillon Brooks is? And then especially doubling down on it and making the comments about it, like, "Oh, it's just 260K." Like,
No,
oh my, that
he's
pisses me
public
off.
enemy
more than
number
anything.
one.
Yeah, and that's why I think Memphis decided to come out with that such a bold statement to hopefully clear their name a little bit.
Does Memphis have a culture problem? Dare I say?
Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we're in the right place to speculate.
I mean,
about
if
that.
you, for me, if you had a culture problem, you would both have serious issues in the organization and be complete trash, like Houston, which
That's true.
is with, and with Memphis, we don't see that. Like, they're a very successful team, finished top 3 in the West for 2 straight years, man. So I don't think they have a culture problem. They just
Yeah.
need to do some soul searching in the offseason. That's all. So
Yeah, but I mean, I talked about the Grizzlies having the most uncertain offseason. I think, or excuse me, the Bucks having an uncertain offseason. I think the Grizzlies have one of the more uncertain off seasons. Just with, like Dibo mentioned, like this team has been a top 2 seed or a top. Were they 2 last year? They were 2, right? Or no?
They were 2.
Or were they 3? So a top 2 seed,
two,
I think they were 2, yeah.
back-to-back years, and they haven't even made a conference finals run. They've got worse if you want to look at how far they've made it in the playoffs. Back-to-back years, and it's like when can this next core take that step?
Yeah, who knows, man? Hopefully sometime soon.
Hopefully for them.
Before they gotta let down Memphis again.